What is nicotine? Nicotine is one of 4,000 chemicals contained in cigarettes and cigarette smoke. It is also found in chewing tobacco and some e-cigarettes. Nicotine is highly addictive and is the component of cigarettes that is associated with the development of addiction or dependence. However, it is not known to cause chronic health conditions or cancer. What is nicotine's effect on the brain and body? The effect of nicotine on the brain and body is complex and involves different areas of the brain and body, as well as different neurotransmitters. When cigarette smoke is inhaled, nicotine, along with the other chemicals contained in cigarette smoke, travel quickly through the lungs into the bloodstream. Nicotine moves through the bloodstream and reaches the brain where it exerts its effects. Nicotine attaches to nicotine receptors in the brain. The attachment of nicotine to these areas in the brain leads to the release of dopamine in the areas of the brain associated with pleasure and reward. The release of dopamine causes the pleasant effects associated with smoking. Nicotine also causes the release of other chemicals in the body, such as norepinephrine, leading to other effects of cigarettes such as increased blood pressure and decreased appetite. With repeated exposure to nicotine, a person can become dependent on or addicted to nicotine. When someone is addicted to nicotine, they will continue to smoke in order to maintain a certain amount of nicotine in their body. Symptoms of nicotine withdrawal. When the amount of nicotine goes below a certain level, for example, when a person is not able to smoke for a longer period of time than they are used to, they will experience withdrawal symptoms from the lack of nicotine. These symptoms trigger the person to smoke again in order to restore nicotine levels and therefore relieve their symptoms. Symptoms of nicotine withdrawal can include cravings for nicotine or cigarettes, headache, nausea, diarrhea, fatigue or tiredness, difficulty concentrating, insomnia, irritability, agitation, anxiety, decreased mood, increased appetite. Symptoms of nicotine withdrawal are very uncomfortable for many people who smoke, particularly people who smoke a high number of cigarettes per day. When patients are in the hospital and unable to leave the unit to smoke, these withdrawal symptoms can worsen agitation or symptoms of delirium, leading to increased patient exposure to sedative or antipsychotic medication or the use of restraints. The experience of nicotine withdrawal has linked to increased morbidity in critically ill patients and increased agitation and aggression in patients in psychiatric acute care settings. How to assess for nicotine withdrawal. Start by determining how many cigarettes the patient smokes per day. Ask the patient if they are experiencing cravings for cigarettes or nicotine. Ask the patient about specific withdrawal symptoms they may be experiencing. Some questions include: are you feeling more frustrated or angry? Are you feeling more anxious or nervous than usual? How has your sleep changed since you have been in the hospital? Are you experiencing a headache or cramps? Look for early signs of nicotine withdrawal, such as irritability, frustration, restlessness or lack of patience, craving to smoke, nausea. In patients who are able to eat, increased appetite can be a symptom of nicotine withdrawal. Poor sleep may be an indication of nicotine withdrawal as well.
We smoke because it relieves stress. We smoke because it's a good way to get outside. We smoke because our friends do it. These are all things we say to justify killing ourselves. Look, I've known people that smoked 50 years before the shit helped kill them, and I've known people that have died 5 years into it. But before you get angry, you're here for motivation to quit, so you're doing the right thing. Myself, I smoked 7 years before deciding enough was enough. So maybe you want to quit, but don't believe the health warnings associated. So let's look at it another way. How much do you spend on smokes per week? Now times that by 4. How much now? That's 1 month. Times that by 12. What now? That's a year, and that's the money spent and not having anything to show for it. You work hard for your money. Shit, we all do. But you've known someone that doesn't make much money, yet seems like they have a ton of it with the stuff they buy. They budget. They don't throw their money away, because that's what we do when we smoke. And we think it relieves stress? It causes our stress. I'm here stressing out about having enough money for gas to get to work, because I can't cut out smokes. I need those to get rid of stress. Meanwhile, if I didn't do it in the first place, where's the stress? I'd have enough money. Smokers have a nicotine addiction, a real, in-your-face addiction. The so-called daily stress we think we're relieving by smoking is just self-induced stress from the nicotine withdrawal. Remember, there was a time in your life when you didn't smoke at all, and you were no more stressed out then than you are today. And since starting, I guarantee you aren't less stressed than you were back then either. One of the rare times I will ever say it's okay to quit is when what you're quitting is smoking. Addiction's a war, not just a battle, but each day you make is a victory. And when your brain tries to tell you one more won't hurt, remember that there are millions of people that don't smoke, that are perfectly fine, and you will be too. It's you versus addiction. Round 1. There is no time limit, but there will be a winner. Even if you fall down, you can always get back up. Until your last breath, victory is within reach. You are stronger than these chemicals. But that's it for the video. How many days has it been for you? Day 1, day 100? Let me know in the comments below. And whether this video is 5 days old or 5 years old, I want to know. Just the decision to quit smoking is the biggest step itself.